Hey everyone, it's Amelia. Welcome back to my presentation on self-harm. If you just joined us, I'll leave a link over here to the start of the video, but let's get going. So why do people start to self-harm? Why people start to self-harm is a hard question to answer. People don't randomly decide to purposely injure themselves. There has to be some kind of stimuli. You don't get primary schoolers hurting themselves. I believe the reason is they don't know that self-harm exists. In early high school was when I first learned about self-harm during health classes, and at the time I thought, wow, there's no way I'm ever going to do that. But still, that seed was planted. Some people hurt themselves, and there must be a reason why. There was a stage at my high school in New Zealand that was almost cool to cut during the popularity of the Gothic movement, which normalised self-harm and even idolised it at times. Whilst my self-harm didn't start till many years later, for some part it was embedded in my brain that self-harm was a normal and rational way to deal with self-hatred. Years later, when I was in a deep depression and needed some form of release, the seed sprouted, and I decided I'd try to hurt myself to see if it made me feel better. Had I not known about self-harm, I doubt I would have done what I did, but kids nowadays are learning earlier and earlier about mental health, with 1 in every 5 people in Australia experiencing some mental health issue. Now, I'm not advocating for not providing education about mental health. I think that's very important. But what we need to be careful about is not romanticising mental illness. Teen TV programs are making more and more characters suffer from mental illness. It's becoming very prominent in society. It's hard to describe why people self-harm without romanticising it slightly. The place you have to be mentally to decide to self-harm is hard to reach. Our bodies are designed to minimise pain. If you touch something hot, your body reacts to move your hand out of the way. The ability to override that human nature is very hard to come to. People don't self-harm for fun, they don't just give it a go, they don't just do it for attention. People who self-harm do it because of a deep mental illness. So while it may sound occasionally romanticised, it's not my intention.